Clarity Tarot here. The question for today is what are your spiritual needs? We have 3 groups. Just wanted to say hi with my face for a second. But group 1 will have this necklace. Group 2, the green earring, and group 3, the gold earring. So again, the question is, what are your spiritual needs at this time? No idea what's going to come out today. It'll be a fun adventure for us all. Reminder, this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate for you. Maybe all piles have a message for you. Maybe none of them do. Just use your intuition, see what you're drawn to. I'll put timestamps in the box. If you want a personal reading that's more tailored to your situation, you can find how to contact me in the description box. Pause the reading if you need more time, and here we go. Okay, first pile, this beautiful necklace that I really like. Let's see what you have here. So our question is, what are your spiritual needs? Ace of Wands, 3 of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups reversed. Let me just tune in here a moment. Yeah, so I'm getting a few things. The first thing standing out to me is the 3 of Pentacles reversed. So this to me signifies a move away from structure or organized groups, or trying to find your spirituality and meet your spiritual needs in a group setting. I'm getting a similar feel from the Ace of Wands, which can be about inspiration, a new fiery beginning, following your bliss, following your passion. So that combined with the 6 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, which can both be about abundance, and particularly the 10 of Pentacles is about every area of your life really getting to that next level. What I'm getting with the combination of those is that your spiritual needs are to have more integration, to move away from whatever structure you have around spirituality right now, not to discard it, but just to perhaps maintain that part of your life. But what you want to invest in more is grounding your spiritual life in every aspect of what it means to be human. So your spirituality isn't just something that you do once a week or in a particular, service at temple, church, mosque, wherever, but that it's something that should integrate every area of your life, every aspect of your life, and bring abundance to that part of you. The 7 of Cups reversed. I actually want to clarify this. I'm just going to use a playing card deck to do that. I have the rest of my Ethereal Visions deck here with me to clarify also, but I want to start here just because. Okay, 10 of Swords. Let's see what else. Clarify the 7 of Cups, please. Two of Wands. Looking to the future, planning ahead. So there's some aspect of your spiritual life, and you will know what this is, that has been a bit of an illusion for you, that you've discovered over time just wasn't what it was cracked up to be. This could have been a particular path or a particular organization that, and I'm hearing it could have been a range from, that just doesn't resonate the way I thought it would, to downright like spiritual abuse or an experience where that part of you was really messed with. So the need is to let that die and look to the future. And it can be hard to release something, especially when you don't know what will replace it. But this is the only advice card that I'm getting really clearly here, and it is to let that die. And I'm not getting that you have to have any specific action. You just have to allow it to fall away. So just release any behaviors you had around maintaining that thing and allow the transition to happen. So your spiritual needs. Overall, your spiritual needs are to see your spirituality as something that comes from within you. It's you. It's your connection to the divine. It's not your connection to an organized frame of thought or religion or set of practices or group. And I think you know that, pile one. It's not that you don't know that, but what your soul is really crying out for right now is to have more of your spirituality be inner directed versus practices from the outside. I think that's the message. I just want to see, I'm going to pull from this deck, see if there's any other advice or guidance for pile one with this. King of Cups. So again, I'm getting the message that your spirituality is within you, and it may, I mean, with the King of Cups, so it's the highest card of the Cups suit, right? And here I'll show this to you so you can see the beautiful artwork there. Isn't it amazing? So the King of Cups is the most emotional, but he's also the most controlled. And part of that is helpful. You can have control over your emotions and be able to restrain yourself as needed. But you also have a propensity to kind of get clogged up when you do that, which can be not so helpful. So I'm wondering if you may have a similar experience, what happens for you spiritually. If you have a lot of spiritual experiences that you're repressing or aren't expressing because they don't fit with whatever this group situation is. And so you're just a little bit clogged. And what do you do when you have a little bit of a backup? You need to clean the pipes, spiritually speaking. So that's what they're telling you to do. Spiritually constipated, that's a nice I hope that doesn't sound terrible to you. This actually isn't I'm not meaning it to sound in any way negative. The cool thing about it is it's almost like you found this expression through this group situation or ethos or way of looking at the world that's been really helpful for you, but it's not enough for you anymore. And so as you've been practicing there, it's been giving you some spiritual nourishment, but there's this other part of you spiritually that's kind of like building up and building up and building up and needs a release. And I think that's going to bring you a lot of, I guess, relief is the word that's coming to mind, but also joy and growth and spiritual connection. So let me know, pile one, if this resonated for you, if you see yourself in that message. I'd love to hear your story. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time. Okay, pile two with this green earring. This is your reading. Your spiritual needs. 6 of Swords, 6 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords reversed, 2 of Swords. I'll just tune in here for a moment. So it's interesting. There's 2 messages here about allowing yourself to move on. With the 6 of Swords, you can see here taking the swords and moving to a new location. And then the 10 of Swords reversed, so upright, this guy's being stabbed by a bajillion swords. And when it's reversed, the message is about kind of recovery from that ending. So there's been some kind of spiritual ending for you here. I wonder if there's either a particular frame of thought or maybe even in a spiritual organization that you've moved on from. I'm getting the sense with this one that this has already happened for you, that there's some ideology or group that you've already let go of. Yeah. And so your needs in the situation are to come back to what you love, in the sense of like be nostalgic about yourself and your own spirituality. What was it? What was the moment that did it for you, where you were like, yes, I want to be a person connected to spirit. I want my spiritual life to grow. This is important to me. This is a part of who I am. I think there's some clues for you there in some of those early experiences. It might help you how to move forward. And there's a sense of like the childlike part of you, or the childhood part of you. There's something there that if you were to nurture that would really feed you spiritually. And then when you find that, the message is Eight of Pentacles. So this is like the apprentice card. You can see this guy's working hard. He's taking one step at a time. And so once you can identify like what was that initial thing that was really important to me spiritually, then you can take, or at least begin to identify what those initial step-by-step things are that you can do to build on that. The Two of Swords is an interesting message. I'm going to get a clarifier for this around your spiritual needs. I'm just using a plain card deck for this. This is the Ethereal Visions Tarot, by the way. Why is the Two of Swords here? Knight of Pentacles and King of Cups. I actually want to pull one from the Ethereal Visions deck also. Let me clarify this Two of Swords. I was telling a friend last night that I get so nervous sometimes shuffling on camera, because I'm like, am I doing it right? Are people going to judge me about my shuffling? Like, are you guys judging me for my shuffling? I would hope not. I mean, what a thing to judge somebody about. But for some reason, I'm really insecure about that. Not whether these messages are true or whether they resonate for anybody. I feel pretty secure on that, but my shuffling just makes me laugh. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Two of Swords plus the Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups. So I think what's important here, what you need is, and what you need to know is that you can go slow. You can take things a step at a time. You don't have to commit to anything. You don't have to decide what you believe. You don't have to, sign on the dotted line with a group or even a way of thinking or a spiritual practice. The clearest message I'm getting here is around the Seven of Pentacles. So if you can see this guy, he's planting all these different seeds, these Seven Pentacles, and then he's just checking out, okay, what's gonna grow? I don't know what's gonna grow. I'm gonna just take a step back and see what happens here. And so, yeah, that's the advice for you. That's what you need to do, is almost check your brain at the door, and hopefully you know what I mean by that, pile two. Just notice what you feel, notice what you experience, notice what your connection is spiritually to the new things that you try, and let it all just kind of put it all on simmer for a while and see what you think and see how everything evolves for you. Yeah, anything else about spiritual needs for pile two? I'm going to pull one more general advice, or actually, I'm thinking this is going to be more of an encouragement card, but let's see what happens. Any final message for pile two? The Hanged Man. Yeah. Similar to what I was just saying, actually. Let yourself just hang yourself upside down by one foot like this guy, chilling in some kind of, I don't know, orange corduroy pants. I don't know what's happening there. But let yourself just look at things from a different perspective. You don't have to know everything that you believe and everything that spirituality is and isn't to you right now. Just be in the moment, come back to your childhood self. What were those initial experiences you had with spirit that were really positive? And let yourself relearn. I get the sense that you're a person that, like, loyalty and commitment is really important to you. And so I think this experience was kind of like one of the worst things ever for you to go through, where you had to realize, I have to leave this behind. I can't do this anymore. It isn't me. And I think Spirit just wants you to know that that's such a treasured part of you and your heart, your loyalty, your desire to commit, your desire to be faithful. That's seen, that's recognized. And now it's more about you, your spiritual growth, your spiritual connection, and reconnecting to that. And there is hope, and it will get better. Okay, pile 2. Thank you for watching. Let me know if anything resonated in there for you. I'd be really curious to hear your story. Like, share, subscribe. Say hi. See you next time. Okay, pile 3 with this gold earring. Let's see what you have. And this is about your spiritual needs. The Moon, the Hermit, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, Magician in reverse. Ooh, juicy. I'm not allowed to have favorites, am I? No, I'm not allowed to have favorites. I like you, pile 3. Your spiritual needs. Let me just gather the message here for a moment. I don't know what it is about this last card. The card in the last position today, I've had to clarify for every pile, so I'll do that again for you. But to start with, your spiritual needs. Your spiritual needs are to explore your own depths and see what's there. You're a very complex, spiritually layered person. Not that you couldn't say that about everyone, but there's something about you that very naturally has a lot of extra nooks and crannies, if you can say that. That's kind of a weird thing to say about a person, actually. I think that's in like a English muffin commercial or something from the 90s. Sorry, pile 3. Back to the reading. Your spiritual needs. Yeah, it's in you. I mean, look at this. Look at this combination. So the Moon, which is about the repressed, the unconscious, the unconscious, subconscious. The Hermit's about going within, going on a spiritual quest. I mean, look at this guy with his lantern and his robe. And then he's got like the little skull in the corner here. This is almost like going on a spirit quest, going on an extended retreat, walking off into the desert for a few days. I'm thinking about when I used to live in Colorado, there was this Jesuit retreat house that I used to go to where it was totally silent. You'd go and you'd stay in this little room, and there was nobody at the retreat house except for the nuns that worked there. And so you didn't talk at all except for a spiritual direction conversation once a day. And it was kind of this experience, like you're left with yourself. There's no technology. It's just you and nature. And everything that's kind of within you that's churning begins to come up. And I think that's what your needs are here. I mean, I would even say, like, just from the very beginning of the reading, advice for you for your spiritual needs is get alone, get quiet, get removed. And it's not realistic for some of us to take a day or 2 or 3 away from our lives if you've got kids, if you've got work responsibilities, if you're in a pandemic and you're trapped and can't move at all. But even if it's just for an hour, find a place to just totally disconnect and be in silence and solitude. That's what's indicated here, because there's a lot of richness that's on offer for you that you can access. We come next to the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords, which to me is kind of like doubling down on the same message. Talk about your experiences. There's something for you about not only going within, but then taking the following action and using your voice about that, whether that's writing, speaking, just talking to a friend, posting on social media. I was about to say posting a blog. Are blogs even a thing anymore? I don't know if they even exist. That just occurred to me. But sure, post a blog, maybe on Zanga or MySpace. Kidding, pile 3. Yeah. So Knight of Swords or Page of Swords, it's really just about, there's something really important about your spiritual needs and your spiritual development as it relates to actually getting to that step of expressing. So if you just stay here, if you do the Hermity Moon thing, where you feel it all, you let it course through you, but you don't share it, it's almost like you've only done half of the cycle, and there's so much more there for you to access spiritually. And I know that I'm talking in very broad terms about spirituality, and this could be applied to any tradition. So if you're a person that has a particular faith tradition or a spiritual tradition that you relate to, any of those practices that are around silence, solitude, meditation would fit here. And then, this could even be like preaching. Like if let's say you're a minister, I think there might actually be some ministerial people in this pile. Instead of coming from your brain about what you want to transmit about spirituality, draw from your own experience, draw from your silence and solitude, draw from your own inner transformation, and channel that into whatever it is you're speaking into the world. It's not only going to be more powerful for your audience, but there's something very important about it for your own spiritual growth and development and experience. Okay, and I want to clarify the Magician in reverse. And so, let's see. I'm starting just with a playing card deck. I'm feeling very conscious right now that I've made so many, I don't know, Gen X jokes in this video today, but hopefully it's okay with you all. Clarify the Magician in reverse, please. And now I'm feeling the need to clarify that I'm actually not a Gen X. I'm like on the cusp, millennial, Gen X. What is they call that? There's some kind of like sandwich generation term for that. Zennials? I think it's Zennials, born in 81. Clarify the Magician in reverse. Ace of Swords. To me, that's like tripling down on Knight of Swords, Page of Swords energy. Anything else? Two of Swords, King of Wands. And I want to pull one from the Ethereal Visions just because I did this for the other piles. I don't want you guys to feel left out. I don't want y'all to feel left out. Clarify the Magician in reverse. Six of Pentacles. Four of Cups. Yeah. Okay, so this is so interesting to me because I'm getting some reinforcement of the message from earlier that you have some kind of platform. You have some kind of spiritual platform. So I don't know, maybe you're a YouTuber, or maybe there's some place where you're talking about spirituality, even if that's just with, a small group of friends or something. And I think you're a pretty skilled communicator. And so at times you can show up like this, which is, okay, what's the message that I want to portray, and what's the best way for that to get across. And that's actually, I mean, it's a helpful skill. If we're to take the magician in reverse in the most positive way possible, that's like, in my mind anyway, it's like advertising, marketing, finding the best way for a message to be digestible and accepted by your audience. It's telling you to release that, actually, to let that go. And there's an understanding that even in letting it go, yes, it's a strength of yours, but that's not where your spiritual needs or your spiritual growth is going to come from now. You cannot try so hard with that. You don't need to even put that on. It's going to happen naturally. What you do need is this combo. I'll try and hold all this up in case that's interesting to you. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, then the Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords, King of Wands. So to me, this combination is reinforcing the message from earlier. Like take what you receive from meditation, be generous with it, and let it fly. Let the sword of truth just arrive. With the 2 of Swords, that can be seeing both sides of the issue. So you can talk about both sides as well as what you've experienced. And in that way, you can bring in a little bit more of this element of making it applicable to everybody and not just about your experience. But I think this King of Wands is really, really key as well. The guidance is to share that message and to do so in a way that feels very, very connected, almost impulsive in a way, like just let your thoughts fly. Release some of the crafting of the message that maybe you naturally or intentionally do. So what I want to know is, what need is that actually serving in you? Like, how does that help you to do that, to speak more from the hip, kind of about your own growth experiences? What need does that serve for pile 3? A couple almost wanted to pop out. It didn't quite make it. Okay. 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords is about kind of ego, our perception of ourselves. So what I'm getting with this is, I really do think that you're a spiritual person. You're a spiritual teacher of some kind. If you're not paid to do that, there's some place in your life where you have that platform. And the reason it's a spiritual need for you to do this is because you could almost carry the whole spiritual message thing without really doing your own work. Now, there's no suggestion here that you're not doing your own work. I absolutely believe that you are, but it's almost like you could potentially be at a crossroads where you can take everything that you've learned spiritually in life and you can just coast from here. You can just talk about what you've learned. You can interpret spiritual texts. You can talk about spiritual practices, and people will still grow from that. They will still appreciate you. They'll still learn from you. But that's just going to reinforce your ego. It's going to reinforce your persona. It's going to make you a professional minister or a professional spiritualist, instead of being a deeply integrated, in the moment, connected to spirit kind of person. And I want to be clear and say that I don't think it's wrong to learn spiritual practices that are very meaningful to people and then share that knowledge and have that be like your public persona, and then privately, have your own practices and whatnot. But there's a call you're being called up to the next level, which is a deep integration, a deep vulnerability, and giving from a different part of yourself maybe than you have done on a regular basis, because it is vulnerable and difficult. So that's actually really exciting. I'm really excited for you if you answer the call for this. I think, to me, if this advice is taken, this is like the most powerful spiritual teacher, master, guru there is, because they walk the talk. They're everything they appear to be, and they're someone you can trust, not some of these spiritual masters that you then find out 20 years later had all these skeletons in their closet, because that split began and then just widened and widened and widened throughout their lives. I want to pull one more card for you. Spirit, anything else that you want pile 3 to know? Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So I don't love the word luck or even the concept of luck, but the message that's coming through is luck is on your side. Your stock is rising, pile 3. Regardless of how you may feel at this moment exactly, this is a good time. This is really a good time for you to go away and do a spirit quest of some kind. Yeah, that's the message, that it's divine timing for you to, if not leave today, like start making plans to schedule today for you to do a bit more of this in some way. Okay, I think that's the message. I hope you enjoyed that, pile 3. I'd really be curious to hear if that resonated at all for you. I'm always interested to hear your stories and whether it's connecting to what's coming through. Like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to do that. And I'll see you in a future video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.